So I seen something quite I thought crazy there a while ago on Fazlift's channel. He was talking about a guy who came to him and told him that he was doing 35 sets of lateral raises a week, and he wasn't growing from it, and he was asking if he should add more. And I was like, 35 sets, that this sort of blew my mind. 35 sets, I don't think I've ever heard someone say 35 sets for lateral raises. Oh, puppy got interrupted by my puppy there. He was seeing what the action was all about. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen someone like realistically say that high for like a muscle group like side delts. Obviously there was that big fad of like so many sets of quads a week before, but like lateral raises, that's a new one, all right. So I have no idea how this person like logistically has set it up to do 35 sets of lateral raises a week in relation to their rest of their program. So I thought it'd be funny to just like try theory craft what way this person's whole program actually looks like, because realistically we say it's like an upper lower or push pull legs, something along those lines. Those are like some of the most common program setups that we have going around today. So just even working out the sheer time investment on this is going to be quite funny. So let's say he's resting at least 2 minutes between sets or after sets. So we'd say like just roughly like 35 by 2 minutes. So we have 70 minutes already just on rest for lateral raises. Let's say his sets take 30 seconds on average, might be longer, but let's say it's 30 seconds. So let's just say like 17 minutes there. So just on side delts a week, he's using 87 minutes a week just on side delts, like this tiny little muscle. So let's, for example, say he's doing the exact same for chest as well. So add another 87 minutes there. So we have what, like 174 minutes. So, and then say again, let's add another 35 sets for back. Obviously he could even have 35 sets for lats and 35 sets for upper back, but let's just be conservative here and say he has just 35 sets for back in general. So if we add another 87, so quick maths. So jump up to do some quick maths. That would be, if he does similar volume for side delts, for chest and back, which would be 35 sets a week, he's resting at least 2 minutes, and the sets take on average 30 seconds. That is 261 minutes in total for just side delts, chest and back in his program. That's around 4.5 hours just on these 3 muscle groups a week. That's like that's almost like more than most people's total training time, and this guy is doing for 3 muscle groups theoretically, if he is doing similar practices as he is for side delts for the rest of his muscle groups. So he hasn't trained arms, so he has biceps, triceps. He hasn't trained legs. He had hamstrings, quads, possibly calves, possibly abs, possibly any other muscle groups like neck or forearms, then possibly posterior chain, so hinges. So overall, like that, this guy could be like, if we take a full body program, or a program that trains his full body, we assume he's training the majority of his body, he could be looking at what, like 10 to 15 hours a week in the gym, and he came asking Faz for help because he's not getting results and he's not progressing on this. Realistically, like 35 sets of side laterals a week does not indicate a good training intensity and pushing himself at all, does it? So obviously we've looked at time investment there. That's already pretty crazy. Just then even looking at the logistics of programming 35 sets of lateral raises a week. So say he doing a push-pull legs or an upper-lower training twice a week. That means he's doing like 15 to 20 sets of lateral raises on each of these days. Like 20 sets of lateral raises on one day. Like, how do you even, like, I don't even know, like, do you do, like, how many exercises do you do for that? Like, that's crazy. How, if you were training any weight intensity, how would you even be able to lift your arms after 20 sets? Like, you wouldn't be able to lift your arms for a week. But obviously the whole point of this is he's not actually pushing any of these sets hard, is he? It's kind of, 20 sets. Does he? Imagine the crazy rep drop off, like from set 1 to set 20. Like, you'd have absolutely nothing in the tank left. I'm just thinking, like, you start off whatever weight, like by the end of 20 sets, like, you're gonna be lifting the pink dumbbells, like 1 pound dumbbells on lateral raises, because, like, how in the hell, like, would you? Yeah, that's pretty funny. And then assuming he, like, I think we can safely assume that he's probably training at least twice a week for most muscle groups, as most people generally do nowadays. And then he's supposed to come back in a few days and do another 15 sets. Like, Jesus. If he hasn't seen, it's kind of mad that, like, you don't just identify that as a problem. That there's obviously he did identify a problem that he's not progressing, but it's kind of mad that someone would jump to and like assume, like, how they would assume that this level of volume, we're talking like this guy doing 15 hours or something a week in the gym. It's kind of mad how someone who's, like, not a professional athlete, which if he's definitely not going to be if he's, like, asking people on the internet why he's not progressing on side laterals, he would have coaches and stuff to, like, helping him, and he wouldn't be doing stuff like this. But yeah, it's kind of mad how someone would actually even get this assumption, because I don't think even, like, the old, like, crazy, like, bodybuilding.com, like, programs where you do 20 sets for chest, I don't think they would even, like, recommend doing, like, such a high volume for something like side delts. So yeah, it's kind of confusing and, like, weird to even think where he even got this assumption and, like, thing from. But that's a fun little calculation theory craft on, like, how the logistics of someone who actually does 35 sets a week for just their side delts, and what their actual program would look like.